Monday Mornings with Matt and Kevin. These two will debate real-life issues from a Catholic perspective every Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Make the world Catholic again.
Oh, what a Monday morning it is. Just beautiful to be back with my good buddy Matt. Matt, it's been too long. It really is too long.
Too long.
It makes me appreciate it more though after a long break when we can get back. It's like old buddies talking about what's been going on. You know, it's nice. I actually, you know, what do they say? Separation makes the heart grow fonder. So,
yeah.
It does. It's like, man, it's
heart grow
nice
fonder.
to be back here with you, Matt, and it's been since well before Christmas. So
it has. Well, we've been busy, taking down our Christmas tree, and I'm joking.
What? You took it down already?
I'm kissing.
Come on, man. You gotta leave that thing up till February 2nd.
I'm joking.
Oh, man.
I'm joking. I was going to run with that a little bit, but you cut me off too quick.
Sorry.
The decorations are gone. We are back to December 26th, right at midnight. It all went away. I saw it, Kev. It's funny that the Feast of St. Stephen, the 26th, I was driving around, and I saw a woman pulling her tree out of the front door, and I said, Protestants.
Crazy. Yeah, right.
That's
exactly
what she is.
But that's the beautiful thing that we have, is that really precious lead up to it, and then the celebration afterwards. And man, Catholics know how to party better than anybody. I will hold that till my dying day. And but we can also do it better because we also fasted and gave things up in Advent beforehand. So it makes it more, I don't know, fun, enjoyable, I suppose, for Christmas Day and then the following days after. And Christmas season lasts all the way to the purification.
It's kind of like when you're a kid and you're saving up money to buy the one big gift that you want. It means more to you, because you've been working towards it. You've been striving towards it. So, it means more when you actually reach it. And that's what we did. That's what we do as Catholics, which is kind of cool. Even it kind of was nice that it coincided with Ember Days, because it really helped prepare. Like we're really here. We had Ember Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and then
right before
the vigil. Yeah, then the vigil of the Immaculate Conception. So there were like four days of fasting and abstinence, which brought us to the Feast of the Nativity. So
it was nice. And for us, we had a very, very nice Christmas, partly because it snowed a lot, like a foot or more.
Forever jealous.
2 days before Christmas. And then on Christmas Day, so on the 25th, it was blue skies, perfect weather for the next 10 days. Perfect. I mean, like perfect. So we had good 10 inches of snow for everyone to ski on. We're in a ski paradise over here. Everyone can ski. And that's down below on the mountains. They got way more than 10 inches, obviously. They got several feet up there.
Wow.
And then perfect weather. So it was really, could not have asked for a better. And we generally stayed healthy. Now, I was fighting a little bit of a cold, but
which we don't do well.
I know. It's been, man, I tell you, we're doing something right. I'm eating a lot of ginger, drinking a lot of ginger. I'm telling you, that's the trick.
That's the trick.
Whiskey and ginger. That's where it's at. So, and I guess, Matt, we wanted to talk a little bit today. We don't have a ton of time. Matt's got to get going. Matt's got it's Italian. His family's in town. He's got to.
Yes. Got to go have olives and artichokes and salami and all
spaghetti.
That. Oh, that's what. No spaghetti.
No spaghetti.
No, not today.
Oh, okay.
But we can get pasted out, believe it or not. I have been pasted out. Yeah, I know. I knew a guy, Kev. This guy, I'm convinced, he's probably in his 70s, so maybe 50 years of his marriage. He ate pasta 7 days a week, every day, every single day, and he wasn't all that fat. So I am forever jealous of people who can just eat and eat and eat and eat and just not really show much there.
That's kind of
I gotta be careful.
My wife. My wife can just eat. She can eat like 3 plates of spaghetti, and I eat like one, and I feel stuffed afterwards, and I gain like 2 pounds, and she's just like piling it on.
Really? Usually it's opposite though. Usually men have the metabolism that just kills that sort of thing.
No, she's got
not us. You got the bad. You got the bad genes. Got to watch it.
Well, we don't have much time. We wanted to talk a bit about 2024, 2025. No, Basti, go close the door. That's my 2-year-old asking me to, I think, put on his PJs. Go ask Mama. So Matt, what are your overall thoughts on the year we just went through? I guess we can be brief.
Yeah, well, I think it started off with presidential elections, and it started off with campaigning that we watched the whole year, and we got to witness Kamala Harris lose an election. Kamala Harris losing an election was a great highlight, I think, of 2020. That was a lot of fun. There's always a joy in watching the left lose. That is like better than birthdays and a lot of other celebrations. So watching the left lose is always a cause for celebration. I think it's funny because we brought this up before, when Lent starts and we say to ourselves, I can't believe we're here, and then it's summer, and then the time just goes, and we hit Advent, Christmas, and now here we are again with a brand new 2025, year 3 of Monday Mornings with Matt and Kevin.
It's true.
coming up this September. But I don't know, I think personally, I had a few changes and a few things. You remember I had my gallbladder had to come out. It had to come out in September, which was a first for me. I never had not had surgery up until that point, but I think overall, a pretty good year. I think, and again, I think the highlight of it for news wise was truly the election and Trump's political comeback, which was in a lot of ways a lot of fun. So would you agree that was the news story?
Yeah, of course. And it was at the very end of the year, so it's easy to just remember that. I did this with Father Gecko on our new channel, The Traditionalist. Matt is also part of that. So everyone go check that out.
I have 2 shows up now.
And they're good.
I did another one.
We've had some really good ones. Guys, this is gonna be a really cool channel. I know I'm biased, but it's got really cool hosts. It's gonna be good. I'm telling you, it's gonna be really good. Everyone go check it out. The Traditionalists. I'll try to remember to attach a link here. You should be able to find that on YouTube anyway, but I'll try to remember.
It comes right up. Yeah.
Yeah, you should. If you search The Traditionalists, you should be able to find it. But Father Geckel and I did a show really with the same topic. We talked about the Paris Olympics, Assange being released, which was weirdly like not a story at all. I don't know if you.
I didn't even know that happened. Julian Assange was released.
Yes, you didn't even know. Isn't it?
I didn't know.
Yeah,
wow,
he's back in Australia.
I gotta Google this.
Yeah, he's just back in Australia. He pled guilty to, I don't even remember, some felony charge of, I don't know, espionage or something, and then they charged him with time served, and he was gone.
No kidding.
So he's back in Australia with his family.
No kidding.
Yeah, I know. It's like nobody knows about it. It's like that was one of the biggest stories that happened. I think it happened in September.
Yeah, here we go. Early October, I guess. Trump should have pardoned him back then, and he didn't.
Yes, he should have.
That was my.
It's a wild story. I mean, the fact that a guy is just being a journalist gets thrown in prison.
Lock him up.
He spent 12 years at the embassy. That's just insane.
For releasing the truth.
Yeah.
Is basically it. Like he put out some really crazy facts about our corrupted and crooked and evil politicians, and they locked him up for it.
And he didn't even commit the espionage. Yeah. Anyway, crazy. The assassination attempt was a big one.
Right.
The Hurricane Helene.
That was probably like September.
That was that was
July. No, that was early. That was July. Wow, that was summer. That was half a year ago.
Yeah.
There's no way, man.
Yeah, sir. I'm telling you. That was summer.
Wow.
June, July, August.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I think July. Hurricane Helene was also in the summer. That was a big one.
July 13th.
July 13th. Yeah.
There's no way.
Crazy. Huh?
Wow.
Time flies.
Okay. All right.
The Notre Dame Cathedral.
Oh yeah.
You and I covered that a couple weeks ago. That was pretty wild.
Beautiful.
I'm Pete Rose's death. That was another one.
Yes, Ricky Henderson's death, which you and I didn't cover yet.
No, it's true.
I just, not to talk about baseball because I know people don't like this, but Kev, I watched this video. I got to tell you this because you'd appreciate it.
I would.
It was from 90, I don't know, maybe 94, 95. And Tom Glavine, one of the top pitchers on the Braves in those days, was warming up in the bullpen. And the bullpen coach is sitting in the background. He leans back in his chair, whips out of his front pocket a pack of cigarettes, takes a lighter out of his back pocket, lights the cigarette, and just starts smoking as Tom Glavine is warming up in the bullpen. And I thought to myself, wow, has baseball changed?
Crazy.
Like we lost a very good element of the game.
You remember back in the day, these baseball players who would have a wad of tobacco.
Oh, and the cheek.
Ken Caminiti, these guys who had this. I mean, not just like a little snuff in their lip. This was a wad of chewing
making
tobacco.
Sure you knew that they had it.
Oh, shoot, man. Yeah. And I don't know if anyone's ever done chewing tobacco. I did it a little bit back in the day, and it's pretty strong. It'll make you pretty nauseous and stuff. So to be able to take a wad of that stuff in your cheek, oh mama.
They were built different, Kev.
They were tough. Yeah, they were
just built
different. And they were also kind of literally built differently.
Yes.
Or not, I suppose.
Yes.
But we've talked a little bit about Pete Rose, but I want to ask you just real quickly. We're going to move on to 2025 here, but Pete Rose, should he be in the Hall of Fame now or not?
Come on, you can't ask me that question. Of course.
Yeah, Cooperstown.
Of course he should.
I thought
I don't know anybody who is truly opposed to it. Do you know any? It's like this
arrogant writer.
Yeah, but it's like this group of people that doesn't even exist that makes you think that this is the common consensus. I don't know anybody who thinks that Pete Rose does not belong in the Hall of Fame. Not one. And when I was in my prime days there, I knew a lot of people who talked baseball. I would go to the sports card shows. Have you been to those before, Kev? Oh no. Oh, so it's like the cards, released by sports card companies that they have a whole show where like you go, there's 80, 100 tables or whatever, and people you can buy sports cards, and people talk baseball and all sorts of cool. I met some great players at those. I met Jim Palmer, who was a great pitcher for maybe in the 80s, 70s, whatever, 60s, whatever year he was. But yeah, I don't know. Cool. It was a lot of fun. But I'm still, Kev, I'm still in awe of the Notre Dame altar. I mean, I dream about it.
It's wild. It really is. And it really shows, I think, it perfectly the emptiness of the Novus Ordo, right? It is the inability to create something beautiful. And I think that's it's good. It's eye-opening, at least it should be to people. I mean, you and I already know that, but I mean, people have to be able to look at what it was and now what it is and be like, yeah, that's different. That doesn't look like a Catholic altar.
It's very out of place. Well, that's my one thing that I think of, and this is my bold. I don't know if it's so bold, but my 2025 thoughts is that Bergoglio does not last a year. I think this is the final reign here. And
I said that like 2 years ago, so I got to be. I think I got.
Yeah, but that was your prediction, which was wrong. Mine's going to be accurate. Mine.
Fair. Okay.
I'm gonna make it here. Right. I don't know when, but I really think that this is it for him, and I think you would agree with me that his successor is going to be even worse. Do you
probably? Yeah. The only way I can think of otherwise is if they try to throw a curveball and know that to
try to calm the storm a bit.
Well, yeah, exactly. To calm it, so to create more damage. Like the only reason they do it is to make more damage. To make it, so you go back to Benedict XVI type, who's going to make it more conservative, and all of your FSSP, SSPXers are going to be like, "Yay, we're back to how it should be. The church is whole again." And of course, it's not. They'll have all they'll put on the vestments and they will have the incense, but they won't, of course, change anything actually, to do with doctrine and dogma and liturgy. I just
don't see the way the college electorate is built now. I just don't see that even being a possibility. Benedict had a good shot because of the mix of men who were in there. Now I don't really think so.
They're I agree with you.
Same mind.
Yeah, I think it almost can't be unless it's like some real scheme of like, hey, let's go. But I
do you think
I think it's gonna be one of these creepy, weirdos.
Do you think that Bergoglio would go out swinging, or do you think he'll kind of drift away a little bit? Like, do you think he's gonna
hasn't he already?
No, but so I guess what happened he was going to implement a full ban on all these diocesan adult masses, which only would have not touched the Society of Pius X. I think the Fraternity of St. Peter, all these would have gotten like, you're in big trouble. And I guess he was convinced otherwise not to do it. But I think in his heart, I think in his legacy, he wants to get rid of it all. So I don't know. I think that in his final moments, that he might. The news might come up again that
I hope so. I hope he does.
I hope he does too. I hope he does too.
If he does, because now he cancels it in a city or two. He's like, yeah, okay. What is it? The one place in Texas. Okay, the bishop's gone, and no more Latin mass for you guys. And which is kind of bizarre, honestly. It's like so this parish can have it, and this one can't. What? Tell me how that makes any sense at all. Again, tell me how does that make the Catholic one? How is this unified? How are you saying, in this parish you can have it, this one you can't, that one you can't? What? How does that work?
I actually think, and we might have brought this up before, I think that if he were actually Catholic, I think he would actually make a pretty good pope. I think he has the persona, maybe or he's a lot. He had I can't word this the way I want to say it. He has a heavier fist than Benedict did. Benedict was in a lot of ways just pushed around a little bit, I think. But Francis, look at what he's banned this. He's excommunicated this one, removed this one, stripped this one. Anyone who's really pushed up against him has gotten. I think he would be in some ways pretty successful. I think if he were even Catholic. But
if he believed in God.
What's your if he that's a whole nother point.
Yeah.
Do you have a 2025 prediction, Kev, for the year? Will there be another pandemic? Because I've heard this and somebody saying get ready for it. We're ready for another round of COVID.
I've been calling this for a long time, and I'm still pretty convinced that it's going to be an alien invasion.
An invasion.
An alien invasion. Yeah, I think that's.
And how do you think that looks?
Alien
how do you?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean,
how do you envision? They're gonna. Is this a dream you've had once?
Exactly. Well, I think it's gonna be all this. You're gonna have some catastrophe where it's gonna be posted on the news where an alien spaceship shot down, I don't know, an airplane or something, and they're gonna create all these movie type symptoms, and then they're also obviously going to have, I don't know, maybe they'll blow up a city or something. I think there's nothing to stop them from doing something like this, because in the end, like the pandemic, it is all a grasp for power, right? Is that whole idea of, okay, how do we make it so that people panic and give us more and more power? It's what happened in Star Wars, Matt. If everyone just watches the Star Wars films, you're going to learn exactly what's going on.
Watch The Simpsons.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm kidding, but kind of half kidding, but it is. I think that there's all the signs leading up to it. They've been rumoring it for a while now, and there's all these they exist, and I think they're going to fake an alien.
So is your alien invasion? Let me make sure I'm taking notes for the doctor. So do you think it's just going to be an event like that, like an airplane was shot down, or do you see like 100 aliens being lowered onto the earth and forcefully conquering a nation? Is that your invasion?
No. I think they're gonna. It'll be more like the first. I mean, maybe both. They'll blow stuff up. They'll show on the news channels aliens invading. They'll show all sorts of. There's gonna be lights in the sky. There's gonna be all sorts of crazy events happening, and they're gonna be say, "See, look, there's an alien invasion now. Everyone panic and everyone, give us power." And I think they're certainly going to try again and again to assassinate Trump. I mean, I hope that doesn't happen. But I think that there is definitely a last gasp from some of these people. Interestingly enough, I mean that's in the news. Obviously, George Soros getting the Medal of Freedom as well as Hillary Clinton from Joe Biden.
The science guy. Elon Musk put up this morning. We might as well just give it to the Power Rangers. I thought that was kind of funny. If we're gonna give it to a 1990s TV character, we might as well just go with.
They gave it to. Wait, I didn't hear.
Bill Nye the Science Guy got awarded the Presidential Medal. This is like the highest award.
And he had. Did you know he has like no degree in science? He's like
he's like a fake. He's like an actor.
Bachelor's degree in communications or something. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but it's something like that. And I have to admit, I did watch him as a kid, and I think some of his videos were cool, like just teaching kids basic science. And then of course he had to get political, and he's an atheist, and he's a total loser moron. But of course that's what they did. They had Bono. They have, I mean, all these guys. Did you hear that Lionel Messi, and he didn't show up, which I thought was pretty cool.
Oh,
or isn't going to show up. His schedule didn't work for him to show up for the big event. So pretty wild group of people. But George Soros and Hillary Clinton are going to be, they're going to be, crowned as heroes of America.
Crowned as queen.
What an insane world we live in. I mean, just
Well, they did say that Trump's team there kind of acknowledged this is ridiculous. Like, you're giving these people who are television stars and actors of the 90s presidential medals of freedom. Like, give it to SpongeBob, I guess. Like, we might as well at this point. But I'm still your alien invasion thing. I gotta put that on the calendar. I have
to admit, I have also been saying that for several years. So it hadn't happened yet.
So when the alien invasion happens, you're just going to remain calm, or do you go in you're just going to shrug it off?
Be like, I'm just going to I'll be telling everyone that it's just fake news, and they've been building it up. And I think, I mean, it's an interesting question that I think Eric and I talked about. What do we think UFOs are, and what are their aliens? Are they demons, or is it government, technology? I think it's almost all government technology. I think some things that people see, say in the water or sometimes maybe even in the sky, I think they could be demons. I think that certainly could be the case sometimes. But I think generally it's equipment that the government has had since even the late 1940s.
Oh yeah.
And they can just do things that we never understood. And now you look at what happens with these with the drones. And it's like, well,
yes,
shoot. I mean, they're not that complicated. You just need to. I mean, Didn't Nikola Tesla already have remote control capability? So that was back in the 19
for sure
teens. So I mean, it's it's not that big of a leap to think that they could have a drone that goes up in the sky and goes zip 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 zip, and people are like, oh, it doesn't exist.
It's coming.
It's just the government.
Do you think planning it? Yeah. Do you think though that because we've mentioned The Simpsons, do you think that it's coincidence, or do you think it's Freemasonry, or do you think it's a bit of both? If you had to make an assessment of everything,
that's a really good question. I think a lot of things are just random luck. I think if you have what do they have 10,000 shows and you say a lot of things and it's like Alex Jones. Alex Jones is and I don't listen to him much. I've listened to him on occasion. He's an interesting guy, and I think some things he gets right, and some predictions he gets right, and he predicts a lot of crazy things. But if you watch him enough, he just predicts crazy things all day long, and he gets 500 of them wrong, and he gets one right, and it's like, I told you. See, this is what I said.
Yeah.
You got everything else wrong. Shut up. Sorry. I mean, no, I don't care what you. And I just think that's probably more the case. But it is an interesting thing because it like the one with Trump going down the elevator announcing he's going to be president is.
It looks like
weird.
It looks like they drew that based off the actual scene.
It's weird
because it's very accurate. The whole thing is fairly accurate with the whole backdrop and the whole
bizarre
crowd. Everything is. There's a lot though. They did. Do you remember the when this boat reared off course and just crashed into the bridge with cars? That they have that happened on The Simpsons earlier on. Yeah. Very, very similar. So again, because The Simpsons revolves around like quote unquote real people who are living in a real town and all sorts of crazy things happen. So you do a whole bunch of crazy things on a television show with 20,000 episodes, you're bound to mock something that actually happens in real life.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, I do think, I mean, I read up on this the other day just a little bit because it always catches my interest. There are people who do think that the world is a stage and they have inside knowledge and stuff is being, I don't know. I think that's a bit far-fetched to kind of push, but
well, it's like the black pillars saying Trump's just in on it and it's all planned. It's like, if that's the case, then they deserve it. Then we have what we deserved, and that is just how it's going to be. And why even worry about it? Honestly,
right.
We can only vote. We can only live to the best of our capabilities, right? And I think that type of worry going that far down the rabbit hole of it's all a charade. Everything that happens is just a show. Honestly, I think that's hopeless. I think you are in danger.
Very draining.
Becoming in danger of being, what's the word, depressed of saying, hey,
I
give up. What's there's no because when you say it's all a plan, it's all a scheme, Trump's in on it, every person is in on it, then what's the point? Seriously, I mean, like, what's there is no point there. And I get it when people say, there's no hope in politics and stuff, and I generally would agree, but I also disagree because I mean, look what the popes tell us. Do the popes just say, no, guys, your governments are evil, everyone who leads the world is bad and evil, so just give up, just go and crawl into a hole? No, that's not what they say.
They say,
right, fight for your countries, and be part of your communities and lead your communities. And I think that whole mindset of it's all just a plan. No, I think it leads directly away from what the popes tell us to do.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got the inauguration is what, like 2 weeks from today, and it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day
on the 20th.
Correct. So I have that day off from work. Like it's like a national holiday to watch the inauguration, which I will be doing. I didn't realize. I was talking with somebody. If you wanted to go, you have to get tickets. You don't just go to this, because I thought about it. It's like 8 hours or so, whatever. No, it's all you had to have this months ago. So I mean, I guess you can kind of camp around the place if you want to, but you're not going to get in anywhere. But I did not hear this, but It makes me worried.
I mean, I know that was part of the whole joke, right? With the crowd size.
yeah. Right, they're not real. But I don't know. He's going to walk down the street with Melania again, and it makes you kind of worried as to what. Ugh. Sure. I've never felt like this with the president before, where like you truly do feel. I mean, people tried to kill Bush a lot. People tried to. There have been tons of plots against Obama. But I don't know. This is a little bit different, and I hope we don't have to see anything on national TV. But
yeah,
I don't know. I shouldn't have even brought that up. But anyway,
I'm curious. I think they're going to keep trying. I don't think there's a doubt about that, because I think they certainly want war. You know, they certainly want all
unrest.
Their pet agendas.
Right.
And did I just see that the Speaker of the House it's Johnson still, right?
He got reelected. Yeah, he got reelected.
Yeah, not terrible, but also like, really? He's like done nothing. He talks a good talk. He doesn't do anything.
He gives, as we've talked about before, he gives in constantly.
Yeah.
To them, he gives money. Everything that he said he wouldn't do, he ends up doing. Which, again, I give Pelosi. Pelosi stood her ground as Speaker and bullied the Republicans into doing what she wants. I don't know why there's never a Republican. And they've been through a whole bunch of them. Paul Ryan. Kevin McCarthy, a whole bunch of them who just why don't they bully the Democrat? It doesn't happen. It never. I don't know.
And it makes you wonder if people never actually get into the Republican side of things. I think it was metal.
Okay.
I think it was in class. Okay. But people never, no actual Republican or no traditionalists, I suppose, get into the Republican Party. And part of that's primarying. Part of it is that's just how it works. So it is still kind of this uniparty with a few voices. But then you lose someone like Matt Gaetz, who I actually like him or hate him. I actually thought he was someone who seemed he could fight, and now he's gone. It's like, well, what are we doing? We lose one of the 3 or 4 voices who actually seem to speak truth and have a spine. And it's
well, if the accusations against him are true, then he shouldn't be in public. Do you know those with
Yeah, but weren't they pretty well?
I don't want to.
Or no?
I don't think so. No, I think new things came up. But I'll be careful what I say, because I don't know who's listening to the show.
That was
here,
with underage.
Yeah. Exactly. No, I think,
and it's terrible. But I do. It was. I think the story I've heard, it was a 17-year-old, and so that is bad. That is certainly immoral and technically illegal. But it's also not the same as some of these other people who are actual. But that's true though. If that is true, then it's good that he's not serving our country.
Somebody said though that King Charles should. This would be something that I'd be interested in seeing. King Charles should, with a stroke of a pen, dissolve Parliament, and rule as absolute monarch, which he could do. That it is within. That is the fact. It is within his grasp of authority to do that. Because right now they're more so just figureheads and whatnot. But
I would just ask that we wait for him to die, and then Prince William can do it, because I have a little more faith in William than I do in Charles.
I've always I'm joking, but Princess Charlotte is going to be the one, Kev. Princess Charlotte.
Didn't she give up her right to rule though?
Princess Charlotte, she's like 10.
Oh, she's a little okay. I'm thinking of the cousin. There was one of the cousins who I think she became Catholic or something, and so gave up her right to be queen.
Oh, I know. There are cousins of because there are cousins in the royal family that converted.
Charlotte is William's daughter. I gotcha.
Yes, and she's like 11, but she will be the one. She's going to ascend to the throne as queen, convert to Catholicism, abolish Parliament, assume role as supreme monarch, and launch the Crusades.
Oh man,
Part 2, 2050.
Sign me up. I'll be 80 years old, but sign me up. I will.
It's gonna be a woman. If there's going to, I truly think that if there's going to be a crazy political move out, or a monarchical move, it's going to become from a queen.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. I like you got good predictions today, man.
The men aren't going to do it. It's going to be. It's like a Queen Isabel of Spain.
Well, yeah, true. So her husband was also pretty.
Oh, of course you were. Oh, of course you were. Yes, of course. But I don't know, Princess keep an eye on that one.
All right. I'm going to remember.
Right now, she's practicing her spelling.
When we're still doing a show 20 years from now. Matt, you called that one.
I called that one.
Yeah,
Between that and the alien invasion.
Yeah, right. Well, that
we're gonna hit money. Yeah, we're gonna hit money.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, everyone's gonna really we're putting our reputations on the line with these predictions. So everyone's gonna you weren't right about the alien invasion. I'd be so disappointed to be wrong about the alien invasion. But it's gonna be an interesting year. I think no question. I think I'm really curious to see how much Trump's going to do immediately. I mean, how much that's going to have an impact on him, on the country, on the world. Germany is going to have a snap election here in February. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I think it's going to probably be the same as normal. The right is going to move a little bit up, and the extreme left is going to sink in the middle. It's probably going to go up to the top again because Germany's just not ready for something like Trump. Maybe again in 30 or 40 years. So Matt, maybe when we're talking in 40 years, we may be able to say, wow, it's actually an actual right-wing party that have power in Germany, but I don't think it's anytime soon.
Would you say, really, really quick, would you say that the U.S. is far more conservative than most of Europe?
It is far more conservative than Western Europe. I would say it is. Sure. It was probably less conservative than some of the Eastern European countries, like Hungary.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. Poland. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But interestingly, Russia. That is a lot of that is because they obviously experienced communism. They were, behind the Iron Curtain, and I think that they, and it's actually happened in Germany. So the Eastern states in Germany are by far your most conservative, or whatever you want to call it, right leaning. And that's because they've actually seen what happens when a government goes communist. And I think that that's something that the rest of Germany and the Western world has not fully experienced. Even though I think you would agree that America and the Western Europe are fairly well communist, or kind of, I don't even know, kind of upper end socialism, bottom end, or upper end capitalism, bottom end socialism. It's a really strange system, honestly, in the Western world, but it also has a lot of communistic flavor. I think that that it's something, by the way, everybody, that again, you can watch that on The Traditionalists. We're going to be talking about that kind of stuff a lot. Michael, our good friend, Physiologist from X, Twitter, he's going to be covering a lot of the economic ideas, I suppose, and also these terms. What is conservative? What is a liberal, etc. It's going to be pretty good stuff. So definitely, again, go sign up for that, guys. Go check that out. We will be having much more content like what Matt and I do. So the Catholic Family Podcast is going to be really kind of stay with saints and catechism, family stuff. The Traditionalist is much more topical, cultural, political. But Matt and I are going to stay here because we love you guys, and we hope you love us too. So we enjoyed this as always, Matt. Again, it was great to see you again. We plan on being back next week and talking about more what's going on. It's going to be the lead up to the inauguration, which is going to be pretty interesting, and maybe we'll have more predictions. And more predictions. I would actually really like to hear your thoughts, Matt, on what is actually going to change in America in the first year, because I think we'd both agree
that's true.
The biggest changes are likely going to happen in the first 6 months. I think that is true. I think that's going to happen. So I'm curious to see what you think is actually going to change. Maybe we'll talk about that next week. And if anyone has any other conversations you'd like us to cover, topics, etc., you can let us know. Hit us up in the comment section. Comments do help our show. They help to give us the algorithms and all this stuff that boosts our channel, boosts this podcast. And well, Matt and I have been doing it for 3 years, and maybe in 40 years, Matt and I are going to be making more than about €1 per episode. There's always hope. There's always hope. We'll keep plugging along. Matt, until next time, God bless everyone else. We'll see you next week, and God bless you too.